If you've been watching my videos, you'll know that I do my best not to speculate when there's no actual proof on EV fires. 2.5, 3 ton vehicles with all that lithium in, just an accident looking for somewhere to happen. All the EV people say, oh yeah, but petrol's more likely to catch fire, or diesel's more likely to catch fire than an EV. And you notice that when it is possibly an EV, the fire reports are very, very vague. When it's a diesel, they mention it time and time again. Diesel vehicle, diesel vehicle. When there's EVs involved, accident. Accidental fire. Fair enough, they're all accidental. You've no need to put that. But then there's other things. A few months ago, one of these Xiaomi SU7s, from memory, it was on autopilot. It warned the driver that he needed to take control because there was something not right in front of it. Didn't give the driver enough time to take control. He did so in less than a second, I think, and then crashed into some bloody structure. 3 people were killed, and from memory I don't think they could get out of the vehicle. They may well have been unconscious, I don't know. But this seems to be a recurring theme now with electric vehicles, people not being able to get out of them for some reason. These electric door locks seem to be the problem. And you know, whoever thought of a door lock? I mean, you go on a plane and they have redundancy. Everything is covered by redundancy, which means if one thing fails, they've got another system that will take over. It's no good being 30,000 feet up in the air. My compass is gone. I don't know where I'm going. Well, let's go back. Which way's back? Anybody got a pair of wayfinders on? Oh, turn the plane around. Redundancy. So there has to be if your battery goes, how do you get out? And batteries do go. They go all the time. I went out to my Citroen Ami the other day. I hadn't used it for 2 weeks. The 12-volt battery was flat, which meant then I couldn't do anything with it. I couldn't, even though the traction battery was fully charged, the 12-volt battery, which you turn the ignition on, and that gives you access to the traction battery through the 12-volt battery. It allows you to use the traction battery. Flat as anything. Fortunately, I have a leisure battery fitted in my vehicle, and I have a DC to DC converter.
That's fastened in.
Yeah.
Put a little aluminium bar there.
Brilliant. All right.
DC to DC.
DC to DC there. And I can also turn the 100 amp hour battery back so that instead of it being charged when I'm going and running the heater, it will charge my 12-volt battery. So I pressed the button, started the car, and I went away. If I hadn't got that on, what I would have to do is remove 6 bolts from the back of the car, take the whole back of the car off, and then go inside to get charging leads onto the 12-volt battery from the back. That's what I'd have to do. Now imagine if you had to do that in order to open your doors or get somebody out. The fire brigade had to do it. Car's on fire. Somehow you've impacted the 12-volt battery and the system has gone offline. You can't open your doors. Your vehicle's on fire, you can't get out. Horrible, horrible way to go. Not many nice ways to go, but that is probably one of the worst. Also, one of the worst is knowing that you bought the EV and your family's in the back. and they can't get out either. Your last thoughts. Why did I buy this EV? I'm only speculating on last thoughts. Don't bear thinking about. The crash with the Xiaomi a few weeks ago, I'll cut some video in about it, and I'll put a link to that video. They're not bothered about the big crash and 3 people getting killed. They're not bothered about that. They don't mind getting killed in a car, so long as it's got proper air vents on the front. The accident, which is still under investigation, prompted widespread public discussion over the safety of the kinds of smart driving features offered by Xiaomi. This is the 13th of October. What date are we on? Xiaomi shares plunge over SU7 lethal crash in China. Now, the last time they plunged, believe it or not, wasn't the crash, but there was some scandal about the air vents on this vehicle. There weren't proper air vents, and I think that sent them shares down something like 4%. The crash didn't bother people so much apparently, but this crash has done. Xiaomi's Hong Kong listed shares have dropped nearly 9% on Monday after reports of a fatal accident involving its debut model, the SU7 sedan. The tech giant stock closed 5.71% lower at HK 49.08, marking the worst day since April. Worst day. Somebody's got killed in this. The last worst day, they discovered that the vents weren't proper vents. Several images and videos circulated on Chinese social media this Monday showing that a Xiaomi SU7 Ultra caught fire after a crash in Chengdu. The vehicle failed to open its doors after the accident, trapping one person in the driver's seat, according to a National Business Daily report. The incident has intensified scrutiny of electric car door handles, which become popular in electric vehicles after Tesla introduced them with its flagship Model S a decade ago. In September, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration opened a probe into Tesla regarding the door handles of Model Ys produced from 2021. According to Bloomberg, the preliminary evaluation came a few days after the outlet reported people were injured or died after being unable to open the doors when the power is lost, particularly after crashes. In a nice vehicle, when you have a crash, it cuts off petrol supply, cuts off electric. Don't want petrol pumping out when there's flames, so it cuts off the petrol supply. And sometimes, if a vehicle's had a crash, you've got to reset it in order for it to work. Now, I'm assuming again, an electric vehicle, and I am assuming this, but I'm assuming that if you have a crash in an electric vehicle, you don't want people electrocuted or first responders electrocuted. So I'm assuming that it cuts off the electric supply. So you have a crash, it cuts off the electric supply, you can't use anything or get out. Earlier this month, a wrongful death lawsuit claimed that Tesla's electronic door handle system trapped a 19-year-old inside a burning Cybertruck. Weeks after the investigation, Bloomberg reported that Rivian, another US EV maker, is redesigning its vehicle doors following employee concerns about potential safety issues. According to people familiar with the matter, the Irvine-based company plans to incorporate a manual release that is more clearly visible and located near the electrically powered interior handles in the rear doors of its upcoming SUV, the R2. I mean, that's common sense, isn't it? Earlier this year, a fatal crash involving a Xiaomi vehicle raised concerns over the safety of smart driving features. Again, somebody come to me with, I've got this car that drives itself. I'd laugh at them. In late March, an SU7 driving in intelligent mode crashed into an obstacle, causing the vehicle to catch fire and explode with 3 people inside. The victims' families questioned the brand as to why the doors didn't open post-collision. Xiaomi announced in September that it would issue an over-the-air software update to fix a flaw in its advanced driver system, covering nearly 116,900 of its SU7 electric sedans. By then, China's market regulators said that in certain conditions where the car's L2, level 2 highway assist function is engaged, the system may fail to properly detect and warn of unusual scenarios. not really what you want, is it, when you're doing 70 miles an hour. The other thing is stopping distance. If it warns you that you've to take over and it took that driver a second, that's a second further down the road you are. Stupid. May fail to properly detect and warn of unusual scenarios. If drivers do not intervene, the risk of collision could rise, the regulator noted. 2.5, 3 ton vehicles with all that lithium in. Just an accident looking for somewhere to happen. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.